who they let out of jail today. Stick around for this. The top 5 at 5 is next. Roger Lodge from the Sports Lodge, and boy, isn't it great to have the NHL and the NBA back, and 714 Tickets is ready to get you in your seats to cheer on your team. Any game, any section, all for the best prices in town with no service fees. Buy in person or online at 714tickets.com or through their app. 714 Tickets, 714 Tickets, 714 Tickets. Call today. You can go tonight. And go Ducks!
This is Terry Smith, voice of the Angels. For the last 5 years, my friends at Rotolo Chevrolet have been recognized as the #1 Chevrolet dealer in California. Many have asked me what separates Mike Capozio and his team from the rest. Well, it's simple. They take pride in providing excellent customer service that makes you feel like part of a family. It's no surprise Rotolo Chevrolet continues to rise above the competition and will continue to do so in 2018. You can visit them off the 210 freeway at the Sierra exit in Fontana or at rotolo.com.
Find new roads, Chevrolet.
You've tuned into the Sports Lodge with Roger Lodge, and we're glad you found us on AM830 KLAA. Orange County, Los Angeles, Inland Empire.
Everyone knows that even good people fall on hard times. Your credit cards get maxed out, and you get behind on your taxes. Unfortunately, the IRS is not as understanding, and they won't stop until they collect. They have the power to take your paycheck, freeze your bank accounts. Even your home or business could be at risk. It's simply not worth it to take on the IRS by yourself. You need to call the experts at Optima Tax Relief. When you call, be sure to ask about the Fresh Start Initiative. It's a special IRS tax debt assistance program that could save you thousands, even tens of thousands. Optima will immediately provide you with a team of professionals who could protect you from the IRS, ensuring that you get the best possible outcome. The Better Business Bureau has awarded them an A+ rating, and you will too. So put the hard times behind you and call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Imagine being denied an apartment because of your religion, or your race, or because you have children, or a disability.
It's so wrong.
Yes, but who has the power to stop this?
You do. Each of us has the power. The law is on your side. It's illegal for landlords to discriminate because of race, color, religion, sex, national origin, disability, or familial status. If you suspect that you have experienced housing discrimination, file a complaint with HUD immediately so we can investigate it. Fair housing is your right.
Use it.
To learn more, visit HUD.gov/fairhousing. That's HUD.gov/fairhousing. Or call 1-800-669-9777. 1-800-669-9777. A public service message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
Let's talk about Ryan. Way back in May, he wasn't a company man. He was a stay-at-home dad. This August, less than 3 months later, Ryan started his information technology career, doing something he loves, driving a company car. Don't love what you do? Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You could start your new life as an IT pro in months, not years, months. Classes meet on campus or live online 2 or 3 times a week. It's not rocket science. It's My Computer Career. mycomputercareer.edu.
1 in 3 adults in America have pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living, then has mama. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse pre-diabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
Get your red on. Support your Angels during every home game in 2019 with Angel Season Seats. For more info, dial 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/season seats to become a 2019 season seat holder.
It's a radio show. It ain't a 1-hour television spectacular.
Dribbling with 6 the timer. Goodrich passes under to Wilt. He's got it. He puts it up and slams it. A slam dunk by Wilt. A no-hitter on the line for Nolan Ryan, who breaks into the windup. The 2-2 pitch. Game break, play ball. Nolan Ryan has pitched his fourth no-hitter. In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened. They get it to Victor. He scores! Victor scores at the buzzer! Here's a pitch to Lawson. Fly ball, center field. Erstad says he's got it. Erstad makes the catch. The Anaheim Angels are the champions of baseball. Gallery shot takes it outside. That ball did pretty good. And then the wall shot reached up, and he got it. Oh, my! Are you serious?
Got the Sports Lodge with Roger Lodge. Right here, right now, on AM830 KLAA.
Oh, my God, there's so much to get to. This is crazy. I got the top 5 stories of the day, the 5 things everyone will be talking about each and every weekday afternoon at this time. We like to get you caught up with everything that's happening because, you know, you're going to get somewhere tonight, a dinner party, a date. Good luck if it's a first date. If you need some dating advice, I'm always here. 714-283-830. But when you get to that first date, or you get to that meeting, or you get to that dinner with friends, trust me when I say they'll be talking about some of these 5 stories I'm about to give you. And it was really hard today because there's so much happening, including a couple of stories that didn't make it into the top 5 at 5, like USC being up 14-0 against Utah. They were up 14-0, but then gave up 34 straight points and lost 41-28 up in Salt Lake. That was crazy. Amari Cooper's been traded by the Raiders to the Dallas Cowboys. So if those stories didn't make it into the Sports Lodge top 5 at 5, there must be some pretty big stories coming your way right here in the Sports Lodge top 5 at 5.
It's time for the Sports Lodge top 5 at 5. The 5 top sports stories you've been hearing about come to life right now with Roger Lodge, beginning with
Number 5.
Take 5. People, let's take 5. A true 5.
Number 5.
Top 5 at 5, proudly presented by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa, conveniently located right along the I-10 freeway. Morongo, good times. All right, here we go. Story number 5, scumbag Ray Caruth is out of jail. You remember Ray Caruth, NFL star wide receiver, hired a hitman to kill his pregnant girlfriend. Released from prison today. Carolina Panthers took him in the first round of the 1997 NFL draft, made NFL All-Rookie team. But then in November of 1999, he conspired with a gunman to murder in cold blood his 24-year-old girlfriend, who was 8 months pregnant with his child, Sharika Adams. According to the story, Carruth and Adams got in separate cars after a movie date, and once they got on the road, he blocked her vehicle so the gunman could have a clean shot. This young lady was hit 4 times but managed to call 911. Emergency personnel, they were able to perform an emergency C-section to save the baby. The mother died 4 weeks later. Ray Carruth released from prison today. He's now 44 years old. He says he's excited to get out of prison, but nervous about how he'll be received by the public, acknowledging there is so much hate and negativity towards me. Well, usually when you murder the pregnant mother of your child, the public doesn't react very favorably to that. Scumbag Ray Carruth is out of jail.
The final 4.
4.
Ball 4! 4!
Number 4.
Story number 4 in the Sports Lodge. Top 5 at 5. My Halos, your Halos, our Halos have a new manager. Billy Epler made the announcement this afternoon, at about 1:04 and 37 seconds.
A few weeks ago, we began interviewing candidates for our managerial opening. Our goal when constructing our interview process was to get as complete a view of each person as possible. We sought to assess how they communicated, how they connected with other people, and understand their approach to developing and maintaining a team-first winning culture. We evaluated their ability to problem solve, to make effective decisions in the dugout, and their philosophies on coaching, teaching, and leading. Lastly, and in many respects, most importantly, we assessed their adaptability and eagerness to continually grow and develop in the role. Make no mistake, our goal here is to win, year in and year out. And to do that, we have to take a process-based approach in everything that we do. Throughout our entire baseball operation, it is our belief in a highly competitive and constantly evolving environment. Adaptable people with growth mindsets are essential to our long-term success. In our year working with Brad and throughout the interview process, we saw someone who possessed an exceptional combination of the qualities that we were looking for in our next manager. His curiosity, his competitiveness, and his knowledge showed us that he was the right person for the job.
And that man is none other than this man. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the microphone, Brad Offman. Yeah!
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm very excited to be, I can't say be a member of the Angels organization because I have been for a year, but I'm very excited to be the manager of the Los Angeles Angels. So I'd like to thank Artie, Billy, John, the entire baseball operations staff who's here right now, who I've gotten to know over the course of the year, and I'm just absolutely thrilled to be back in Southern California, where I've lived for the last 25 years, and don't have to worry about rainouts too much. And I'd like to thank Keenan Middleton for having my back as president. I'm not interested in politics, Key, but I do appreciate it. Like Billy had mentioned, adaptability is something that's very important to the Angels. And part of the reason I came to the Angels was because I needed to adapt. Analytics is part of the game, and I have an understanding of analytics. I had an understanding before I arrived here. I had been using numbers to create scouting reports since about the year 2000, long before analytics were in vogue, when the information was a lot more vague and a little more raw. And so during the off season, Billy, I'm sure, did his due diligence on me going into the 2018 season and invited me to be a part of his staff as a special assistant. I, doing my due diligence on Billy Epler, checked on his background because I didn't really know Billy too well. But I knew where he came from, and I knew the organization that he came from was heavily analytic. and that they use the numbers to make their players and their teams better. And I think that's the important thing. So I had to adapt. And part of the reason I was looking forward to joining Billy on his staff in the baseball operations department was because I wanted to find out more about how we can help players on the field be better, how we can help teams win. This is why we're here. We're here to win baseball games. I mean, Artie's made it clear since he's taken over this organization that winning is the important thing. We want a championship. I spent 18 years as a player, 4 years as a manager, and I do not have a World Series ring. I want a World Series ring. That's very important to me. And that's going to be the goal. I'm not going to care what the pundits say. My message to the players is win today. I don't care what happened yesterday. I don't care what people say we're going to do or what other teams are going to do. I care about the Los Angeles Angels, and I care about winning today. And if we do that every single day, we're going to be just fine.
I love this guy, Brad Ausmus, new manager of our Halos. You guys on board? 714-2-830-830. How about when someone asked Brad Ausmus today, so what kind of baseball will a Brad Ausmus team play?
I hope it's the type of team that looks like they have a World Championship ring on their
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Brad Ausmus, everybody. New skipper of the Halos introduced today. More on this a little bit later. And by the way, if you missed the presser, I'm going to replay it for you. Top of the hour, 6 o'clock, because I'm just a giving kind of guy. Next story, please.
Strike three.
Bryant for three.
Number 3.
How about my Rams up in the Bay yesterday? No problemo up in Levi Stadium.
First down and goal from the 8. They give to Gurley. He's through the left side and into the end zone. Todd Gurley does it again. First down and 10 from the 19. Goff throws left side end zone. Caught. Brandon Cooks at the goal line. Touchdown, L.A. Goff fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, throws back to his left. Gurley the catch in the 15, the 10, the 5 gets the block. Gurley goes in for the 3rd time today. Touchdown, Todd Gurley. Touchdown, L.A. And now the Rams hurry up. Goff marking his call. He gets behind Sullivan, the center. Gurley behind him. Here's the snap. First and goal. Todd goes in. Touchdown, Todd Gurley. Touchdown, L.A. His 2nd of Week 7.
Okay, I have a little bit of an issue with those calls. And, James, you know how much I love J.B. Long, the play-by-play voice of the Rams. I love his enthusiasm. Terrific guy. Great guest here in the Sports Lodge. You know how much I love this guy, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. But he keeps saying, and I know it's his thing to say touchdown L.A. But we also have the Chargers here. There are so many teams in L.A. L.A.'s not the brand here. The brand is Rams. So shouldn't he be screaming, touchdown Rams?
I like touchdown L.A.
But there's so many other things going on in L.A. It's not L.A.
Touchdown, L.A.
No, touchdown Rams.
Touchdown, L.A.
What sounds better? This, touchdown Rams. Or
touchdown, L.A.
We should let the audience decide. And I guarantee you, James, if I went to 100 phone calls right now, 99 out of the 100 phone calls would say the better call is touchdown Rams.
Nah, he just puts his flavor on it. Like you said, we love the guy. He puts his flavor on it. Touchdown LA sounds great.
All right, well,
because the Rams are LA right now. The Trojans are having a down season.
Yeah, so are the Chargers.
So is UCLA.
So are the Angels. So are the Dodgers. There's all kinds of teams in LA.
No, but I'm saying the Chargers are doing well, but they're not LA good yet. I mean, the Rams are 7-0, Roger Lodge.
Hey, Chargers are 5-2 going to the Super Bowl. What's so funny? Rams get the win. Can we hear from Sean McVay, please, after the big win?
Certainly Aaron's a guy that when you care as much as he does, when you get into that rhythm and that flow, he's a guy that's going to get better just because of the way that he approaches it every single season, and that's the case. That's good things for us.
Touchdown Rams! They're 7-0 for the first time since Ronald Reagan was president.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
That's right. Pretty awesome. Rams are 7-0 on their way to it. Well, we'll see. They got the Chiefs coming up in a couple of weeks. That will be fantastic. on some Monday. Is it a Monday nighter from Mexico City? Can't wait for that. But the Rams get the win, and they are 7-0 for the first time since 1985. What's our next story?
Touchdown, LA!
Touchdown, Rams! Next story, please. Thank
Two
you.
for two turntables. Two things. Number 2.
All right, Brandon Ingram is lucky he only got 4 games. He should have been suspended at least 10. What he did Saturday night was despicable. It was dangerous. And I'm a Laker guy. I bleed purple and gold and angel red. But what Brandon Ingram did, running back into that fight, I thought it was absolutely inexcusable. How do you guys see it? You guys agree with me? Someone could have got really, really hurt. If Brandon Ingram, good thing he hits like, a flea, and he's so skinny. He could have went Kermit Washington on somebody. That was wildly dangerous. And I can't believe that he only got a 4-game suspension. Meanwhile, the Lakers lost. That cost them the game. They were rolling. And then Rajon Rondo decided to spit in CP3's face. Brandon Ingram came running into the brawl like an idiot and started swinging on people. It was awful. It really was. And here's LeBron James' reaction to that fight.
Just try to calm things down, that's all. Play basketball.
I guess we didn't want to get too much from LeBron, but short and sweet from LeBron James. He went over and, cooled off his good pal CP3. But that was crazy. And by the way, Brandon Ingram suspended for 4 games, Rondo for 3, Chris Paul for 2. But since Chris Paul makes so much more money than Brandon Ingram and Rajon Rondo, he'll be fined the most money. But my goodness, what Brandon Ingram did. And by the way, the NBA Vice President of Basketball Operations, Kiki Vanderway, he was in attendance, sitting there checking it all out. Brandon Ingram suspended 4 games. He's lucky he didn't get 10. Lakers and the Spurs tonight.
Number one.
Story number 1.
Top story of the day, we got ourselves a World Series. Dodgers-Red Sox. How'd the Dodgers get here? Funny you should ask. I can tell you. They beat the Braves 3-1. The Brewers 4-3. Red Sox won 108 games during the regular season. Took care of the Yankees 3-1. And the Astros 4-1. Tomorrow night, Game 1, Clayton Koufax against Chris Sale, who will be working on 9 days arrest. And get ready for more lefty fun in this series, more southpaw fun. David Price, Hyun-Jin Ryu, Rich Hill, and then, of course, we'll see Rick Porcello and Walker Buehler as well. The Dodgers had a 733 OPS against lefties this year. Red Sox 719 OPS against lefties. How do you guys feel about my brilliant idea to have Alex Cora, the Red Sox manager who played in the Dodgers organization, throw out a first pitch before Game 1 to Dave Roberts, the Dodger manager who played for the Red Sox after playing for the Dodgers, of course, and Dave Roberts known for the most important steal of any base in Red Sox lore back in 2004 against Mariano Rivera and the New York Yankees. But we indeed have ourselves a World Series. Dodgers and the Boston Red Sox, Game 1 tomorrow night, and you can hear it right here on AM830. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I just gave you the top 5 stories of the day. Now, since they're brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa, I'm going to give you the top 5 reasons to visit Morongo, starting with number 5. Good times come to life with Morongo's $30,000 zombie slot tournament, Wednesday, October the 31st. How about number 4? Go out trick-or-treating with a new car. You can win a new Jaguar F-Pace this Sunday. Number 3, step into the Morongo House of Gifts. Play table games with your rewards card on Tuesdays through Thursdays to get gifts like camping gear and kitchen items. Number 2, Hell's Kitchen Giveaway. Just earn 500 points on your rewards card Monday and take home a saucepan set on the 29th. And the number one reason to go to Morongo Casino Resort and Spa, the heat meets the streets with their Hot Wheels hot seats. It's coming up Saturday. Play your favorite slot to win a $180,000 Mercedes AMG GTR. Morongo Casino Resort and Spa, conveniently located right along the I-10, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Morongo, good times.
Hey, Halo Honks, you're dialed into the Sports Lodge with Roger Lodge.
On Angels Radio AM830.
Hey everyone, it's James from the Sports Lodge, and I want to give a shout out to the entire service department at Capistrano Toyota. They do it right, on time, every time. Just read the reviews for yourself. It's super easy to schedule routine maintenance online as well. Here's a thought. Take advantage of their lifetime oil changes when you purchase a car from Capistrano Toyota. And if you didn't buy your Toyota from them, that's okay. Every Tuesday and Thursday is $10 oil changes for any Toyota owner.
Oh, baby! You like free? I like free. Who doesn't like free? So if you like free, you're going to like this ad. Hi, Jim Peterson here. Here's what we're going to do, put panels on your roof. Buy 10 solar panels from me this month and get 2 panels free. Buy 20 panels and get 4 free. Heck, buy 30 and get 6 panels free. Unheard of savings. Buy a new roof and get up to 100 feet of new seamless rain gutters free. Finance all of this and make no payments for 2 years. But only while supplies last. Free is good and free is now. Call me, 888-247-6554. 888-247-6554 or at solarforamerica.com. Here's the number again. Write it down because free is me. 888-247-6554. 888-247-6554. Free is me. Call me, 888-247-6554.
CSLB 868-363. 468-117-930-640.
The 7th annual Fall Flooring Yard Sales going on now with incredible deals at Lumber Liquidators. We've got hundreds of floors on sale up to 50% off, in stock and ready to go. Save big on waterproof floors, all on sale from just 39 cents. Get wood look laminate flooring, all on sale up to 40% off. Pre-finished hardwood and bamboo starting at 99 cents, plus special financing. Stop by your local Lumber Liquidators store or visit lumberliquidators.com today.
When a player doesn't like a contract, what do? They hold out? They hold out for a better deal. If only you could do that with your wireless plan, right? Well, with the Keep Your Own Phone plan from Straight Talk Wireless, you can get a much better deal. Keep your phone, your number, even your same network for a lot less than you're paying now without the contract or the holdout.
Get the Ultimate Unlimited plan for just $55 a month on America's largest, most dependable 4G LTE network. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart. Video typically streams at DVD quality at 60 gigabytes. We reserve the right to review your account for usage in violation of Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
AJ here from Living the Good Life Show. Each week, we talk about the good life, travel, all sports, including golf and lifestyle. Celebrating 25 years, we bring you fresh inside the ropes reporting and one-on-ones with Hollywood's finest. So stay in the know with Living the Good Life Show, Sunday mornings, 7 to 8 a.m., right here on AM830, home of Angels Baseball. Brought to you by Ursop.com. Ursop.com can help fund a startup business or franchise using your 401k or other qualified retirement account. Learn how today at ERSOP.com.
You've got the Sports Lodge with Roger Lodge. Right here, right now, on AM830 KLAA.
All right, hold on a second. Let me get this straight. So USC's up 14-0 on Utah, up in Salt Lake. Tough place to play. But they were ahead 14-0. And then Utah scored a touchdown at the end of the first. Then they scored 13 points in the second quarter. And then 14 more in the third, and according to my Cerritos High School math, all right, maybe Palms Elementary math, that's 34 unanswered points by them there Utes. How in the world did that happen? Let's see what my guest has to say about this. We welcome in from Athlon Sports our good friend Kyle Kensing. Kyle, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm nursing an 0-7 fantasy football start, but I've got my 6-month-old son in my lap right now, so it's all good.
Then all's right with the world. And by the way, if he gets a little loud, it's okay. We welcome child noises here in the Sports Lodge, so don't even think twice about it. Hey, tell me, what surprised you most about the Utah Utes coming back on SC like that?
Well, you know, with Utah, it's interesting because their defense has always been, or at least for the last couple of years, has been up to the championship caliber in the Pac-12. It's just a matter of them fixing their offense. And this year, you're really starting to see it come together. And it really kind of showed there after that slow start. You have the scoop and score that puts SC up by 2 touchdowns. But their defense locks in, doesn't give up an inch to SC the rest of the way after that Michael Pittman touchdown. But you saw Tyler Huntley just really locked in, distributing the ball with 4 touchdown passes to 4 different receivers. That team has really kind of figured it out. And their offensive coordinator, Troy Taylor, he came from Eastern Washington, one of the best passing offenses in the country in FCS. And he's really kind of got that system going where you've got guys like Samson Nakua and Britton Covey, just playmakers all over the field at receiver. They really kind of figured it out on offense, and I think right now they might be the best team in the conference.
Hey, how surprised were you to see Tyler Huntley not only get his first 300-yard passing game of the season, but his highest of the year with 341 against USC's defense, which isn't awful, is it?
Oh, not at all, but SC has been really banged up this year, too. I mean, they started the year with not much depth in the secondary when you figure that Bubba Bolden didn't play a game before being suspended from the university. Achille Ross transferred out of the program. You had Jack Jones get into some disciplinary issues, and he was gone. So they really have no depth in the secondary, but the front seven has really kind of either kept them in games or compensated for some other deficiencies. But then you lose Porter Gustin for the year. Cameron Smith was out on Saturday. That's 2 really big playmakers that are gone from the lineup. And, I think at that point, it's when the offense puts you out on the field after multiple 3-and-outs, you're just going to wear down at a certain point, and I think that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, all those 3-and-outs for the USC offense led to a lot of problems. Obviously, for their defense, it was on the field a lot. Was the defense at some point just gassed?
Oh, 100%, yeah, because those guys really have had some playmakers kind of step up. You've seen like John Houston, for example, has been playing out of his mind, and Saturday was no exception with 15 tackles. You got the freshman who I'm gonna butcher his name, Gatoete, but he's been excellent the past 2 games. So they've had some playmakers step up. Jordan Iosefo who has the scoop and score. So they're having guys step up, but it's just that lack of depth, and you really do start to run out of gas when you're having to spend long stretches out on the field.
Okay, so the SC passing game was basically non-existent against that Utah defense. And, there's our boy right there. I love that. So,
you want to say hi, baby Jack?
Jack.
Oh, he's shy now.
Oh, now, of course, he's on the radio. A lot of people listening. Freezing up a little bit on. Jack is how old? 6 months?
6 months.
Okay, before I get back to football, how has 6-month-old Jack changed your life the most?
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a lot easier when it was just 1, and having 2 in the house, it's a game changer, but his big brother's been a lot of help.
Oh, it's an absolute game changer, but none that I'm sure is just fantastic each and every time you are able to spend time with your kids. But back to this game here, and back to SC moving forward, what's the quarterback situation over at USC right about now?
Yeah, so last night it sounded like it was going to be pretty dire. We had JT Daniels coming out of the game Saturday and him having to go through concussion protocol. I thought Matt Fink looked really good in the 4th quarter. Of course, he breaks 3 ribs and is scratched for an unspecified length of time now.
Wow.
So it sounded like Jack Sears was about to take over, but today JT Daniels did get through that concussion protocol. Sounds like he's going to play on Saturday, so it's not quite as bad as it sounded like it could have been. I was reaching the point I wondered if they weren't going to have to move a J.N.A. Harris, who won a city championship at Crenshaw, back to quarterback, which he played in high school.
So what do you think of Arizona State that's coming to town?
Yeah, that's an interesting team because I really like their new defensive coordinator, Danny Gonzalez, who gets a 3.35 stack, which he got from San Diego State and Rocky Long, who innovated that defense. And San Diego State's one of the best defensive teams in the country for about 7 years running now. And you see it with Arizona State, too, where they haven't allowed an opponent to score more than 27 points. But they've taken a really huge step back on offense. They can't get their passing and their running game going at the same time. Against Stanford, you really kind of saw where they had some communication issues, where they, let the clock bleed in some really inopportune times as they were driving to try to make the final score to tie it and send it to overtime. And I think those offensive issues are really the thing that's holding Arizona State back because right now 4 losses all by a touchdown or less. So they're a team that's sort of on the cusp, but that can really kind of snowball, especially when you're with the first-year staff and a lot of veteran players like they have on offense. Because N'Keal Harry is a junior, you've got Manny Wilson who's a senior, and a lot of veterans on the offensive line. So the fact that they aren't figured it out at this point, I think doesn't bode well moving forward.
All right, Jack is getting restless. So let me ask you one more before you have to give him a bottle. UCLA, they're 2-2 in conference. They're only a game out with Utah coming up, and they still can play USC. Don't go to sleep on my Bruins, Kyle.
You know, I got to say, though, Utah coming to town, the dream of them getting to the Rose Bowl after an 0-5 start, not going to come to fruition. I think the Utes roll this week.
Kyle, you're the best, man. I know you're busy. Thanks for working me in. Let's do this again real soon, and give Jack a hug from me, okay?
Sounds good. Now, I'll be sure that Jack is well taken care of next time.
No, we're all good there. We love it around here, man. Thank you. Kyle Kensing right there from Athlon Sports here in the Sports Lodge on this Monday. But, yeah, remember, UCLA started 0-5. They're 2-2 in conference. They're one game back of the Utah Utes. They spring the upset this week, and look out. Don't go to sleep on my Bruins. You know what? I got to hang out with Mark Gubizal a little bit today. Loved his reaction on the whole Brad Ausmus hire. You'll hear that when we come back. Plus the press conference in its entirety coming up at the top of the hour if you missed that today. This is the Sports Lodge on Angels Radio, AM830. And nothing gets me down.
Rich Eisen here reminding you to get the best local SoCal sports from Roger Lodge and the Sports Lodge on AM830 KLAA.
Mark Christopher, California's #1 volume GM dealer, has an all-star deal. Right now at Mark Christopher Chevrolet, they're making room for 2019, so the best prices of the year are here. Like the 2018 Silverado All-Star Crew Cab pickups, after massive discounts and rebates, you save a real $15,000 right off the sticker. And not just one at this price, but 20 of them lined up and ready to go home with you today. Mark Christopher, right on the 10 freeway in Ontario, or go to markchristopher.com. Rebates include $1,500 to finance with GM. Residency restrictions apply. Chevrolet, find new roads.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $500 million for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, Angel fans. Ever wanted to get closer to the game? Well, now you can. Email authentics@angels.com today for the largest selection of authentic game-used Angels memorabilia. Choose from game-used jerseys, baseballs, broken bats, and much more from the most reliable source. Order items from select games direct from the field at Angel Stadium. Email authentics@angels.com today to take home a piece of the action.
I used to have a sweet tooth. Had it removed when I was a kid. So what do I crave instead of chocolate? A big red box from Grainger. Grainger satisfies my craving for great customer service with 24/7 support, effortless ordering, and same-day pickup or next-day delivery options. No busy signals, no cavities. I love Grainger. You know why? Because when it comes to reliable product and technical support, Grainger's got your back. Call or click Grainger.com to see for yourself. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, sports fans. This is Dr. Alan Beyer. Join me on my weekly radio show, Doctor in the Dugout, on AM830. We feature special guests who will talk about topics in orthopedic surgery and sports medicine. We'll take your phone calls with questions about your conditions or topics you want to discuss, or we'll answer your emails, which you can send to doctorinthedugout@gmail.com. As always, we're brought to you by the Hogue Orthopedic Institute, where the experience matters. Check out our showtime on AM830.net. See you Saturday.
I get it. Your desk has been there for you, holding up your computer, your unused stapler, and that plant you forgot to water. But maybe it's time to leave your desk. and spend your lunch break volunteering with Meals on Wheels.
Doing Meals on Wheels for me is the joy that I look for at the end of my week. I'll come to the door with one meal and I'll walk away with a full heart.
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at AmericaLet'sDoLunch.org. That's AmericaLet'sDoLunch.org. Brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
This is your source for Angels news and more with Roger Lodge and the Sports Lodge on AM830 KLAA.
We got ourselves a new manager. Welcome back to Sports Lodge on a Monday. It was about 1:04 today that Billy Epler stepped up to the microphone and introduced Brad Ausmus. He is your new Angel manager. A lot of you have been reacting to that all afternoon here on this Monday. And now joining me to talk about it, part of the Angel broadcast team, and our dear friend Mark Gubicza. Gooby, great job on TV. I was watching here in the luxurious Sports Lodge studios. Your hair looks as good as ever. How are you on this Monday?
Good. What's going on, Rocky? How you been, my man?
I've been very, very good. Really appreciate the time. Gooby, when you first heard that Brad Ausmus was going to be the guy, give me one word that would describe what you felt.
It's hard for me because, clearly I've known Soch for such a long period of time that it was always difficult to say, okay, Soch isn't coming back. But when you have to move forward and things were going that way, that it's just the way it was going to be. And once I heard it was Brad. I've known Brad. I saw him, and I had a bunch of conversations with him, whether it was in spring training or even during the season, especially last month or so in the year. Kind of got a pretty decent relationship going with him. So then when I heard that there was a strong possibility it was either going to be him or Chop, and that either direction they were going in there was going to be the right decision, because you just need somebody in there, and it's going to be to get going. And for Brad, people are going to say, well, he wasn't successful there in Detroit. Well, when you look at his first year, he was successful. And having that kind of experience definitely helps. And you're dealing with a lot of major superstar personalities when he was there, too. So that, for me, helped out quite a bit. Because he got to hung around and got to manage Miggy Cabrera, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, all these, and they were a good team. Ian Kinsler was even over there on that Tiger team at that point. But, I thought there was going to be a strong possibility for sure that he would be one of the candidates, Brad. And knowing how smart he is, and when he gets into that whole interview process, I knew there would be a really good chance that he would end up being the guy.
Gooby, I'm glad you brought up Brad Ausmus' first year in Detroit. You mentioned names like Cabrera and Verlander. David Price was there. Rick Porcello, Anibal Sanchez, Max Scherzer. They even had Robbie Ray on that staff. Torrey Hunter was there. J.D. and Victor Martinez. They were kind of the Golden State Warriors of baseball that season. But when people say things like, well, my God, look at the talent he had, of course he should have won that division. Is that fair, Gooby?
No, when you think about it, last year the Angels were in the postseason, too, when they had that magical year, and everyone's thinking, that the Angels should have won the World Series that year. In my opinion, they should have, but Kansas City just played extremely well all the way through, and Baltimore the same thing against, Detroit. Once you go to the playoffs, you just never know. Everyone thought after Game 1 of the playoff series for the Astros against the Red Sox, that series was over. Lo and behold, Boston wins 4 in a row. Once you get to the postseason, you just never know. All sports, for the most part, is that way. I mean, who would have thought that the Eagles would have won the Super Bowl last year with a backup quarterback? Magical stuff happens at the right time for the right team. And, that's what happened to him there. I think it helps having the experience dealing with players like he had to, because he's going to have some mega stars with the Angels. But he also knows that, he really needs to get more involved in the old analytic world, in the probability world, the things that we heard Billy Epler talk about quite a bit, and even Brad. So it's going to be a work in progress. It's going to be interesting to see what the coaching staff is going to look like and what kind of additions this club is. But the thing we talked about on the air with Artie Moreno, his eyes lit up and a smile on his face when he said World Series rings. And that's all the mindset is for everybody on that, desk today, was a World Championship. And that is it. And that means win the World Championship next year. And for Angel fans, really, that's all you want to hear.
You want somebody that's going to do whatever it takes to get your team a chance to win the World Series.
But at the same time, how realistic is that with no Ohtani on the mound? G-Rich will not pitch next season. So how realistic should Angel fans really be when it comes to World Series ring in 2019?
Did you just watch the series with the Dodgers in Milwaukee? What starting pitching do they have there when you think about it?
Exactly.
These guys battled, and their bullpen was solid. And if you look at the everyday lineup for the Angels, I think they match up even better than Milwaukee as far as an everyday lineup. Shohei Ohtani, you mentioned him. I would be shocked if you don't see him pretty early in the season in the DH role. And look how much of a turnaround he made as a hitter. The team was amazing with him swinging the bat. His numbers were off the charts. And now he's going to be acclimated to playing in the United States. He knows the majority of the pitchers now, as a hitter. I mean, when we always jump forward to 2020, he's going to dominate on the mound, but that's a different story. He's an incredible player along with Trout and Anderson Simmons. I foresee